We're here with UIC head cross-country coach Ashley Lucas as the Flames prepare to head downstate tomorrow afternoon to the Illinois State meet. Coach, before we talk about ISU, let's look back at the races at NIU a couple weeks ago. How do you feel that the teams executed the race plans for those events?
Yeah, it was a pretty good meet. We were just kind of using it as get your spikes back on, dust off the cobwebs. So with it being a lower key meet as far as teams that were there, a lot of it was talking about pack running. So the guys especially executed that very well. They scored 17 points, so 2 points off of a perfect score. So for them, they worked very well together. They kind of drug each other along at parts where people might have started to fall off. The women's side, we were probably a little not as packed up as I would have liked to have seen, but having such a young squad with 4 girls in the top 8 were freshmen for us, they're still just learning each other. So that was a big part of that race too, is just learning to see how our teammates themselves race.
You talked about especially the guys really packing up together there, and I know again it was a little bit of a smaller field and stuff, but having the top 3 and 7 or 8 of the top 10 has to be something to give that group a lot of confidence moving forward to build upon.
Definitely. We train together day in and day out, so I always preach to them, the closer you are off the course, the closer you will be on it. And it's a lot easier to run as a pack, and it's very intimidating. So if you're getting passed by a pack of 4 guys that are wearing UIC jerseys, it's kind of demoralizing. So we would rather be the ones doing that to other teams than having them do it to us. So we preach at practice working together, because if you do that in practice, you're going to be a lot more apt to do that in a race. So they did that great.
No race last week, obviously, so it'll be about 2 weeks in between events before you hit the course tomorrow. What have you guys been focusing on in training leading up to the meet tomorrow?
Yeah, we've had a hard 2 weeks of training. So we did a time trial during preseason, and then we did it again this week, kind of to use it as a checkpoint. And especially on the women's side, they did exponentially better than the first time. So I think that one gave them a lot of confidence, especially our younger kids. When they found out they were doing a time trial during preseason, they were like deer in headlights, and this time they were very confident going into it, ran with a lot more confidence and pushed each other. So we had a couple of freshman girls who ran lifetime PRs in a time trial and then did a workout after that. So they kind of took a lot of confidence from the last 2 weeks of training, seeing where they are now compared to where they were in high school, or the returners where they were now compared to where they were last year. So they're kind of riding a high of confidence, and they're really excited to get back to racing with us not having a super race heavy schedule. They're kind of chomping at the bit to get back to racing tomorrow.
And then finally, just give us a preview of tomorrow's meet and what you're hoping to expect from the Flames.
Yeah, one weather-wise should be pretty nice. ISU's course is pretty quick. They keep the golf course there very well groomed. So I'm expecting some fast times. Size-wise of the meet is definitely a smaller scale on the number of teams, but they're all very quality teams. So we'll have Illinois State, Mizzou, crosstown rival Loyola will be there. So it's going to be not a lot of people in the race, but a lot of quality and a lot of depth in that race. So I think we'll just have a lot of PRs come out of it, and just continue to rise our confidence.